It's Friday, August 19th. We'd like to welcome you back to the Three Man Rush podcast. We're going to get some college football talked, but we'd like to open it up real quick. We're all going to get a fumble or gift basket out. Tom, you'd like to go first.
So a couple days ago, it was released saying NCAA 2023, whatever they're going to call it, is going to be built on the Madden engine. So it's basically just going to be Madden clone with college teams on it, which, I mean, I'm not upset about. They've come out and said that the Dynasty and Road to Glory is coming back, which is always nice, but I am a little nervous. There's something about that old NCAA 14 game, man. All the people throwing their bodies around, something about it. But sad we're not going to get that anymore. We're going to get the crappy Madden stuff. So
there's something special about NCAA 14 when you dive at somebody to tackle them. The animation could go anywhere. I mean, the guy that's getting tackled, that's having his legs taken out, he could legitimately fall in any way humanly possible or not humanly possible. That's special to me.
I'm also a little upset because I can't get sacked now and my quarterback throw a 90-yard pass when he is 180 degrees, like turned sideways. So it's a little sad, but just got to live with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd play Tecmo Bowl if it was had the college teams at this point. I'm just ready for NCAA football. All right, so Tom gives out a fumble. Drew, you want to go ahead and give us which one you've got?
Well, I've got two, so I'll give my gift basket first.
All right.
My gift basket goes to the Big Ten. They just signed a media rights deal with CBS worth $7 billion with a B, and that's insane because they were only making like around $700 million on their last deal. But now we get plus the CBS theme song for college football. It's the greatest theme song ever made, so at least we get to keep that tradition alive. So gift basket to Big Ten.
Large gift basket with $7 billion in it. That's what the Big Ten got this year.
You think they got some chocolate turtles in that gift basket?
You know what? I'm almost guessing they've got Dove chocolate in there. You'd have to think. Or what's the nice chocolate? Starts with a G.
Ghirardelli or something like that.
Yeah, Ghirardelli. They probably got some Ghirardelli chocolate in there for the Big Ten commissioner. You probably got to think so.
What about Hershey's? Then they got some kisses in there.
You gotta hope. Just a couple kisses. How many Hershey's Kisses could you buy with $7 billion?
Probably at least 15 billion.
A lake full of them.
A lake full.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I do like some Hershey's Kisses, though.
Hey, who doesn't? I like the ones that are white chocolate with like a little swirl of milk chocolate. I almost said black chocolate, but that's not a thing. Anyways,
it's perfect amount of chocolate.
No, that is a thing, isn't it? I
Dark
guess dark
chocolate.
chocolate. Yeah.
It's dark chocolate,
but it's white chocolate.
Yikes.
Anyways, you guys remember Jason Williams? Come on, white chocolate. Wasn't that his name?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Calvin, you're up next. You got a gift basket or a fumble, and then we'll circle back around here and get our second one.
I'll be completely honest. I'm not sure how this fell to me at this point. I mean, we are now officially 8 days. We were going to wake up tomorrow, and it's going to be the last Saturday till January without a college football game on TV. And none of us are excited at all.
Should we clap for that? Should we clap for that?
We got to get let's clap. Come on. We got to get a little energy. A little bit of energy. August 18th, because next weekend at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Idaho State plays UNLV in UNLV. CBS Sports Network, tune in, I'll be there. I don't give a rip about Idaho State's quarterback. But simply, I care that college football is going to be on my TV. That's all I care about.
Idaho State versus UNLV?
And then followed 30 minutes later, it's UConn at Utah State.
Oh, boy.
That's what I need. That's what I need.
UConn, suck on these nuts.
Exactly. Bingo. That's all we're looking for, man. Oh, I'm just pumped. Just pumped.
I'm locked in.
I love it. Great gift basket for Calvin. I'm going to give a gift basket on a completely different note to Manti Te'o and his wife, his new wife now. I watched the documentary last couple nights. It came out on Netflix. It's called Untold. The story is as wild as it came out. I mean, the story is nuts. Obviously, it was about his girlfriend that was actually not real, and he was being catfished, whatever. Wild story. But he is actually a really cool guy, and I think he got kind of pooped on because of the whole thing, and that's fair. At the time, it seemed like maybe he knew about it, maybe he didn't know about it. But he seems like a really cool guy. Seems like he's learned from that experience, especially. And I'm giving the gift basket to his new wife, who is smoking hot. Smoking hot. So congrats to Manti Te'o. It was a tough break for him back in the day, but he's made it out. Got to play in the NFL and has a beautiful wife now. So congrats to Manti Te'o. And here's my gift basket. All right, Drew, you said you had 2. You want to go?
Yeah, so fumble. I'm going to actually go actual college football here. There's rumors swirling around Austin that Hudson Card's going to be starting over Quinn Ewers, and can't tell you how happy that makes me. Quinn Ewers is the new Tate Martell. We'll see him at the Citadel next year.
So
$1 million NIL deal to the Citadel.
We actually had a listener ask us if we could talk about this. Is Tate Martell comparable to Quinn Ewers?
No.
Is he?
No.
I don't.
No.
Not at this point, but if he transfers again.
If he transfers
again.
Time, absolutely.
The season hasn't started, man. Give him a shot. He's just now 18 years old. He left college. Or he left high school early. Give him a shot. I know he plays for Texas, but I mean, give him just a second to play football. For just a half second before we start comparing him to Tate Martell.
No, I understand.
I agree.
I'm giving him a shot. It's just the fact that he came in almost like guaranteed to be the starter, and he lost the job.
But teams do this all the time. It's not a big deal, and Texas will play in a week and a half, and then if Hudson Card starts, he's going to suck, and then Quinn Ewers is going to come in. It's not a huge deal at this point in time.
Can you imagine? Go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead. Oh, I also don't think that Nick Saban wants to just let Quinn Ewers just go and play against Alabama. There's no shot. I mean, let's be honest. The weakness of that offense for Texas is that offensive line. That offensive line is not going to stop Will Anderson. I don't think Sark could care less about how Hudson Card feels about it, but I think he's way more invested about Quinn Ewers and trying to keep him as healthy as possible.
Yeah, but sometimes you want to win that game, don't you? Like, give yourself the best shot.
That. But you're not putting your rookie quarterback out, your freshman quarterback out there against Will Anderson. You're not.
But you're not competing at that point. Then you're literally just conceding a loss to Alabama. Are you not?
I mean, it's not likely they're going to win anyway. So, but I'm not really.
I think it's going to be a close game, man.
Better shot to win the game.
I don't know. I think Quinn Ewers is a better quarterback, but I don't think Sark wants to get him thrown into the wolves that quickly.
Is that Texas' home opener?
No.
Oh, why?
No, it's not.
Okay,
no, that's their second game.
Throw Hudson Card out there week 1. Don't let Alabama get any film on Quinn Ewers. Then throw Quinn Ewers in. I've been practicing with the ones all week long the first 2 weeks. Throw Hudson Card week 1. Quinn Ewers week 2 against Alabama. Alabama's got no film on him. That gives you at least somewhat of a decent advantage. Maybe not a huge one. Obviously, it's Alabama. But, I mean, come on. Like, you got to think some point, like, hey, we're playing Alabama at home. Here's this star freshman quarterback. Here's the way Texas gets back on top of the map. And with a Quinn Ewers win, that would be what they need.
Well, is that not exactly what happened with Tyrone Swoops against Notre Dame? I mean, they weren't back then. So, I mean, I think that this whole thing about if they beat Alabama, they're back. I mean, yeah, it's Alabama.
Yeah,
so if you win again. But A&M beat Alabama.
Tyrone Swoops is not comparable to Quinn Ewers based on.
He was when he came out of high school.
But Quinn Ewers was literally the top recruit, like one of the best
Tyrone
recruits
Swoops
of all
was
time.
up there.
But he's not as high as Quinn Ewers was, is he not?
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with that. The people that are comparing Tate Martell to Quinn Ewers so far, it's like we realized that Tate Martell was asked to play wide receiver at Miami. They were putting him out.
It's ridiculous.
Quinn Ewers is not going to be playing slot.
Well, apparently Sark thinks Hudson Card gives Texas the best chance to win right now if he's going to be QB1 week 1.
Well, I think Hudson Card's got to be the biggest blue balls quarterback of all time. I mean, everybody in Texas won Casey Thompson last year, and they want Quinn Ewers this year. And Hudson Card just keeps putting his hat in the ring. Hudson Card. I mean, he's the most forgettable name right now, and he was a big-time recruit himself.
And maybe I'm just like oblivious to the fact that Texas is ridiculous and they make stupid decisions, but that it just wouldn't make sense to me to have this high recruit come in as a freshman and then just not play him in the biggest game your team has had in how many years, like so long to start a season. Like this is your opportunity to be back, to be Texas is back again, and then you're just going to throw Hudson Card out there. That seems a bit ridiculous to me.
That's what I'm saying though. Like apparently Sark thinks that Hudson Card is better at this
Or-
point. So
That's the other thing.
Hudson
That's the other
Card
thing
is
about it.
give the best
I completely agree with Drew. I mean, shit, if he's the better one, he's the better guy. Like, you got to put him out there
Sure,
if he's better.
sure.
If all you've seen is that Hudson Card is a better quarterback, that's who you're playing. Like, it's
Plus,
Division
you
I
got to
football.
think starting a freshman at quarterback is a lot harder than. I mean, Caleb Williams made it look decently easy last year, but I mean, starting quarterbacks don't historically aren't pretty dominant. Besides a couple guys who've won the Heisman, like Bryce Young, Johnny Manziel, just like that. That's a rare thing. I mean, Quinn Ewers could be that guy. I don't think he is.
But isn't he like the highest rated recruit since Vince Young or something like that?
Yeah, but the thing is, when you get to college, stars don't matter, and
Sure.
I mean, you're just a normal player now.
But
And he could
also-
come out against Alabama and shit the bed, and then it's kind of like, well, it might have just been a wasted opportunity. Should have let him develop a little more and kind of get more of the college feel underneath him.
But Quinn Ewers starting against Alabama gives him multiple shots, because if he does bad against Alabama, oh, hey, by the way, it was Bama. Sorry, this team might have a defensive guy win Heisman. You get a second shot there. If you don't play in that game, then people start to really question, because then if he plays the game after, then sucks. They're like, oh, crap, maybe he isn't really the big deal, the good deal. If you play him against Alabama, he's got two chances at least. Because you play bad against Alabama, well, it's Alabama. You get another shot. If you don't play against Alabama, oh crap, he plays his third game, he sucks. Now he really sucks. Like, you only have one shot if you don't play him against Bama. You play him against Bama, you got two chances.
I'm with you on that, but I don't know. I feel like you could completely destroy an entire quarterback's confidence playing like a defense like that. If he gets if Will Anderson is coming up the middle 4 plays in a row, just murdering him. I mean, I'm not gonna go take any more snaps out there,
Well, I mean, obviously,
to me, it's a football game. Like, I mean, we acting like this just because it's Alabama. It's like a completely different thing. I think that your mindset should be the same playing ULM as it is Alabama on who you're going to play.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if you're going to
play,
play,
have to be realistic about it.
Yeah, I think you have to be realistic. But this is what I'm saying. I think it's kind of a weenie way to look at it, that you want to start Hudson Card and then you bring in Quinn Ewers later because maybe you don't want to kill his confidence. That's a weenie thing to look at it, but it honestly might be the smart thing to do. And if it is, then it is. But to me, it doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me that you're going to say, I'm going to start Hudson Card. Like, don't you think Quinn Ewers would be like, oh, that kills my confidence just as much as doing poorly against Alabama? I don't know.
They just have too much invested in the kid. Like, at this point, they have way too much invested.
Do they though? Do they? Because look at next class. You know what I'm saying? Do they have as much invested as Quinn Ewers as they do in Arch Manning? I don't think so. I think they probably have more.
The Tate Martell story is starting to look more and more similar. I'm telling you, man.
A little bit.
Get there, out, then bye-bye.
We gotta wait to see.
With the Ohio State transfer too in there, mixed in there. They both transferred from Ohio State. That's their first school.
They look a little more saucy.
I'm saying, I agree with what Jake said, Bill. Like, losing the starting quarterback job before the season even starts will probably hurt his confidence more than getting dawned on by Alabama.
Everyone gets dawned on by Alabama. Literally everybody does.
Yeah, literally everybody does.
Not everybody. Not the Georgia Bulldogs last year in the championship game. And who beat Alabama before that? A&M. There you go.
Zach Calzada.
Yep, the Cuban Missile.
Yeah, I'm saying Quinn Ewers is probably a better quarterback than Zach Calzada.
Oh, yeah.
But we haven't seen anything yet. We haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, you would hope so. Okay, well, we'll keep moving though, Drew. So, Drew, that was your fumble or gift basket?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'd like to give a honorable mention gift basket to Hudson Card. He deserves it. He's working his butt off there, and he's just forgotten about. My last fumble is Tom Brady's been absent at training camp, which led to this large Reddit thread, which is just absolutely hilarious, that somebody basically said he was absent at training camp, so, a domino effect ended up that Tom Brady might be the Masked Singer. And I want to give this fumble to the Buccaneers. They're losing Tom Brady to the Masked Singer. It also might be a gift.
So much sense.
I know. It also might be a gift basket to the Masked Singer that they're big enough to pull in Tom Brady during training camp. But yeah, so that Reddit thread, you guys should probably check it out. It's incredible.
From Victor Oladipo to Tom Brady on the Masked Singer.
But they've had some football players on there before, so it wouldn't be too crazy. But anyway, so
Who's the new Buccaneers coach?
Todd Bowles, the former defense coordinator.
Yeah. Imagine Todd Bowles come out and saying, if Tom Brady's not showing up to training camp, he's not our starting quarterback. No one's big enough for training camp. Shut up the fuck up, Todd Bowles. That's all I'm saying.
Todd, he's singing. He's mass singing.
Yeah,
Did Bruce Arians retire?
Yeah, I think he's in the front office now.
Yeah, Bruce Arians one of those guys where I just wish he could have been a college football coach because he's a character. He deserved to be able to, because when you're a college coach, you can kind of be more of a cult leader. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Dabo Swinney says anything, Clemson's doing it. You just have more power, and Bruce Arians with a little bit of power in a college football campus would have been just great. But
I need to see
he was
it.
kind of like the Gary Patterson of the NFL to me. But okay,
Was there at the start?
we're gonna play a little game here for teams that matter this year. We're gonna do 3 conferences here: Big 12, SEC, and ACC. We'll go ahead and start off with the Big 12 since that's probably what we know the best. And I'll just kind of go through here. And basically, you guys just give me your short answer if they matter this season. If they're going to matter for the Big 12 title or, nationally. So Oklahoma State, Baylor, I think we all think matter. Texas, Does Texas matter this season?
Just because they're playing Bama, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
What do you guys think about Texas Tech this season? Do they matter?
No.
No.
A year away? Are they a year away?
No.
No, I think they're forever away.
They're about however long that new head coach can get his recruits there.
Joe McGuire.
I like Joe McGuire.
Yeah, he's probably the best recruiter in Texas. But
Ooh, really?
yeah. Well, he's
Jimbo.
from
Jimbo.
Well,
Oh yeah, jeez.
well, I'd just say he's a old high school coach. He knows pretty much everyone in every little small town. So, I feel like they're going to be similar to Baylor, how they can just produce 3 stars into just NFL talent. But we'll see.
Well, the thing that Baylor's done better than anybody in the Big 12, at least in my opinion, maybe not better than anybody, but they recruit guys that are just track stars, have great combine numbers, and then they're like, well, we'll turn them into a football player. I mean, you saw, I think it was Kalen Barnes maybe this year. Baylor had the top top 4 out of 12 of the top guys in the 40-yard dash were Baylor, and none of them were 5-star recruits. So, I mean, that was pretty impressive for me. And that's kind of what Matt Rule was doing. So we'll see if Aranda can what his aim is on recruiting. But, okay, does West Virginia matter this season?
No. I think they're going to be the worst team in the Big 12 other than Kansas.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not a Neil Brown guy either, so I could see that. The thing is with West Virginia is I feel like they don't bottom out as much just because they have been so conservative under Neil Brown. That 6-6 and 7-5 is attainable just because they're not going to take as many risks on offense. Where they, they turn the ball over a couple times, they could easily be 4-8.
I don't know, but as a football fan, you don't want to see your team striving to go 6-6.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Okay, does TCU matter this season?
No.
Next year, probably not this year.
See, I think TCU's got a good team, man.
But do they matter?
I think they do.
To who?
I mean, TCU, when TCU's good, Dallas pays attention, and Dallas is a massive city.
Sure, but who else do they matter to nationally, at that point?
TCU,
what does their record have to be for them to be nationally recognized?
Relevant?
Yeah.
9-3.
Yeah.
I guess that's doable.
Because that means they're upsetting one of the top teams of the Big 12. They're going 9-3.
Yeah, and they're going to be exciting in the early season because they play SMU, and they stole SMU's coach, and then they play Colorado as well. That's not a great game, but they don't play many cupcakes, so they're at least exciting in the non-conference. But that one's, I can see why you'd see it the other way. Okay, does Iowa State matter this season?
No.
God, no.
I'm going to say yes.
I think so too, Drew.
You just don't want to go to a night games and Ames.
You don't want to touch
Weird
Ames if you're a good team.
I mean,
Exactly.
no, they don't matter.
OU's going into Ames this year, and I'm nervous. That's what happened last
They've
time.
got two
They
guys
don't
that are going
matter.
the first or second day of the NFL draft, and I think we kind of underrate that.
They might have. Other than-
My thing with Xavier Hutchinson, whatever his name is, who the hell is going to throw to him the ball? Like,
Hunter
how are
Deckers,
they
man.
okay, like we said, we've said this almost every podcast. We have no clue what he's going to be.
He's
No
the chubby
clue.
lefty. The chubby lefty.
Yeah. And that's why you
also,
don't matter.
who's blocking?
That's why you don't matter.
I
He's
love
a
it.
chubby lefty.
Dude, I love a chubby lefty. Come on. Jared Lorenzen.
Don't talk about the
But who's
empty
gonna
lefty
block-
like that.
Who's going to block Will McDonald?
It's a good point. I'm telling you, he's first round pick type of defensive end. And Xavier Hutchinson's
He might be a 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think people are kind of underestimating how much they brought back defensively. They lost a lot of guys, but they brought back guys that had been in like a backup role that had gotten a lot of snaps. So I'm not telling you that they're going to be
No.
great, but I think they might matter. They might be a team that could upset someone.
They've never won.
That's the same. I don't think they're going to.
They've never won 10 games.
I don't think they're going to be.
They don't matter.
They've never
They
won
don't.
10 games. I agree. They've never won 10
Oh.
games, and fuck them for that. But like they could.
What I'm saying,
Go ahead, Drew.
like if they matters, if you're nervous about going into their place
Yeah.
because they can beat you.
I'm honestly,
I think Iowa State could be.
I'll say it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not nervous about A&M or about Iowa State this year.
Tom, famous last words, bud.
That's a rookie mistake.
You know how many times I said that? You know how many times I said
Hey,
that?
knock on wood.
No,
You saw what happened last time we went to night game and Ames.
yeah,
You got our arse
relax.
kicked.
We're OU football. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Promise.
Oh,
You
come on
football,
now.
We drop a game every year like that.
No,
You guys have lost
Yeah,
Iowa
I'm
State.
nervous
game.
about the game.
and we might drop that game, but I'm just you gotta expect
Yeah.
to win everything.
Hey, Matt Campbell's gonna be fired up the sideline.
Two shits about Matt Campbell. He is a fraud of a head
All I'm saying,
coach.
I kind of
like,
agree.
I'm not saying that they're gonna win the Big 12. They're not gonna win the Big 12, but like they're gonna upset a team. I can guarantee
so they
that.
don't
I
matter.
think Iowa State wins 7 or 8 games.
They do matter because if like
No,
thing.
they do matter though because if they upset a good team, that just changes the landscape of college
No,
football.
fact.
the question was, do they matter nationally or to win the Big 12 championship? And you literally just said they're not going to
Well,
win the
if
Big
they
12
beat-
championship, so then they don't matter.
Here's my
But if they beat
You're in-
an undefeated OSU or undefeated OU, that means that they just changed the like. Imagine OU's number
They
2
literally,
going
they
into that
literally did
game.
this
If
last
they
year
won't
at
be,
OSU.
if they
They
beat
literally
us,
did this last year at OSU. And did they matter after that? No, they did not. They literally did
Drew,
not matter.
did A&M matter? Did A&M matter last year after they beat Bama? Did they do anything?
yeah,
Did they do anything after
did,
beating
yeah.
Bama? What
they didn't do anything, but they still beat Alabama.
Okay, well, exactly. They didn't matter after that game.
It
You
just,
can get a big win like that, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Iowa State is also one of the sole reasons OSU didn't make the playoff last year.
No,
exactly. And who's talking about that except us? No one. Literally no one. They don't
Like-
matter.
It's a national thing though. Like it's the reason OSU didn't make the playoff.
Yeah, but they look like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
they drafted him to Iowa State. Wow, that's crazy. And that's all anybody says about it. Right?
So I'm saying if
Iowa
they
State was nationally
beat a
relevant
good
last year.
team,
They were.
But
I don't like Iowa State, but they were.
But this year's
They started
a
off
little
top
different
10.
with completely different quarterback, completely different tight end. Like you have so much you've lost this last year on offense.
I agree.
But-
I'm just to me, I don't think they're going to be much
lost
worse
their
than they were last
starting
year.
quarterback for the last 4 years. The running back who's been dominant for
Oh.
3. Like,
The Brees Hall thing and Charlie Kohler, yeah, both of those are big losses. And honestly, Mike Rose is a really good player. I think they might even be better at quarterback now. Brock Purdy was throwing to the
let's
other
not
team
act like
so
Brock
often,
Purdy's a
man.
good quarterback.
Well, there were
Brock
times that
Purdy-
Brock Purdy was being like pseudo benched. Like,
No, yeah, I get that, but
I
like
mean, he struggled last year.
he is a good quarterback.
He's all right. He's all right.
here, before we move on with the rest of it, what's your guys' definition of mattering then? Because if they like upset a
Yeah.
good team and change the landscape, I think that
But
Well,
then
that's
so many-
kind of
but then
true. That's the
that-
debate.
But that expands this mattering thing to so many teams. Because Kansas last year was an incredible play away from mattering to them.
Kansas mattered.
Because then, like, what?
they did matter.
They did not matter. They don't matter.
No, they did
They
not
got
matter.
nationally talked about. They got
didn't
nationally talked about after beating
No, they
Texas.
don't matter.
Steve, that's the
matters.
fun part is that of the debate is that like you have your own definition of mattering. So that's why I'm going to ask you if they matter. Like, you know, okay, so we got 2 more
Let's see.
teams in the Big 12. Both of them hail from Kansas. I'll just be
They don't
honest, I
matter.
don't know.
man.
I don't really know why I want to talk like shit on the state of Kansas, but boy, there's not a lot to love.
No.
Kansas and Iowa. I know that they probably get pooped on nationally a lot too. But I'm from Oklahoma. It's not the most beautiful state in the world, but man, it shits on Iowa and Kansas. But Kansas State, does the Kansas State Wildcats matter this season?
Yes.
They matter.
I think they matter this season. Yeah.
Kansas State matters.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I would agree.
This season. Now, did they last year? I don't think so.
Could end up being third or second in the Big 12 this year. I could definitely see it.
I don't think that they're going to be. The thing is, I think that they're going to be the regular Kansas State self, but like preseason, they're getting all the hype in the world. So I mean, they matter.
I'm going with the solid fourth in the Big 12 for them. I think that'd be a good finish. So
that's fair.
Okay, let's move on to the ACC though.
Right.
You guys ready for that? Do the Wake Forest team and Deacons matter this season?
Not anymore.
Yes,
They did with Sam Hartman, but no, without him.
Oh, and Sam Hartman's not the entire team. They're still a top 25 team.
A.T. Perry is very good.
He was a big reason why they were so good last year.
We don't know anything about their other quarterbacks.
Which is
what if he comes out?
Yeah, if he doesn't matter, then they don't matter. If the quarterback, if you don't know anything about him, I don't think it matters.
I think they matter. I'm a Wake Forest. I think they matter.
I will say without
You're a Wake Forest, Drew.
I'm a Wake
Drew's
Forest.
a woke. Drew's a woke Forest.
Hey, Chris Paul, Tim Duncan, they matter.
There's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts that they have Chris Paul and Tim Duncan. Like what?
Yeah, it's two Hall of Famers right there.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan for 4 years.
Muggsy Bogues as well.
No, come on.
All right. Okay. Do the Virginia Tech Hokies matter this season?
No.
I've
No, I'm not
got a
good
real
about it,
solid
so.
no.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say no as well, but I don't know anything about
They
it.
win
so
3
I
or 4
can't
games and get a night game against a ranked team. They'll matter for a night, but other than that, no.
I think they're a team that could matter. They're a one night stand in mattering.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You know.
There we go. Okay, I think that's what Drew is trying to get across. I think Drew is a fan of the one night stand mattering for teams. Like Iowa State, if they're going to matter at all.
Well, that's what makes college football great.
No, yeah, I get that. But as a whole, no.
Yeah. Big picture, they probably don't matter, but they can matter for a couple nights now.
All I'm saying about Iowa State is that in every football game they go into this year, they at least have a chance to win because they always have that upset potential.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's the same way, I think, this season.
Same.
What do you guys think about Virginia? Do they matter?
No.
I've got a real firm yes on Virginia this season.
Well, didn't they? Who's their new head coach? The Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson's offense coordinator, Tony Elliott. But they have a really good quarterback, Brennan Armstrong. They also have some really good receivers. Keaton Thompson, who's a transitioned from quarterback. He's really good receiver. And they have a guy named, I think his last name's Wicks, that can also play in the slot. So I think Virginia – and the thing is with the ACC is that the good teams seem to rotate so much in the ACC that it's hard to tell who matters each season. I think Virginia could be one of those sneaky teams that actually matters this season in the ACC. Did we lose Calvin?
The thing is,
Sorry,
it's hard. It's hard to matter in the ACC. It's just a shit conference.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, does Syracuse matter? I think we all kind of have a pretty good consensus on this one. No. Okay, do the Pittsburgh Panthers matter this season?
Yes.
I'd say yeah.
I think they do. I think they're really interesting. I think
Their preseason range, they just lost their best 2 players. We'll just see what they have to do with it.
Well, I think they matter nationally because of what's happened with Jordan Addison. I think that they're going to be kind of a talking point no matter what, just because of what happened. It's kind of one of the only times that's ever – I mean, it is the only time that we know that's ever happened, that somebody's transferred for money. So that part of it I think is going to matter largely to just see how they do this season without him.
They have Keaton Slovis too, don't they?
They do have Keaton Slovis, and then which is kind of interesting. He came from USC, and then obviously they ended up trading Jordan Addison back to USC.
Yeah.
I don't really know much else about Pitt other than that. They were able to run the ball pretty effectively last season as well, so we'll see if they can do that this season. Do the North Carolina Tar Heels matter?
Hey, Austin.
No.
No.
Yes. No. Never mind.
No.
I don't think they do this season either. But
Cool
I will
jerseys.
say, yeah, beautiful jerseys, and a game that you should not sleep on is North Carolina State UNC this season. because if the Wolfpack are having a great season, they've always kind of had that a little bit of trouble with North Carolina. I'd be interested to see what the all-time record is between those two schools, but that's just a tough rivalry game. And if NC State's competing, you got to watch out for North Carolina for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, do the Miami Hurricanes matter this season?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're all in
They
agreement
have a
there?
Heisman dark horse quarterback.
Completely
I
agree.
think their ceiling is the highest it's been in years.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the year after the turnover chain when they came out and laid an egg?
Against LSU?
I mean,
I don't know. It was the year after they had the really good year and they came and got smoked week 1.
Yeah,
I
but
think it was LSU.
It was 2019. I got killed. That LSU team's incredible.
Was it LSU?
I think that was the year before LSU was insane because LSU played Texas in 2019,
Yeah.
the season they had Joe
Oh, that's
Burrow.
right. That's right.
But yeah, I mean LSU was still a top 5 team that season and won the Fiesta Bowl. But okay, so Louisville Cardinals, do they matter this season?
No.
No.
Malik Cunningham is fun, but yeah, Louisville does not matter, and it took Lamar Jackson for them to matter. So, and Teddy Bridgewater,
Yeah.
they've had a good quarterback run. Wow.
they've
Okay,
always had a pretty good quarterback. Just
Yeah.
can't ever pull the rest of the roster together.
yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. Jair Alexander is also Louisville Cardinal. He's really, really good.
I'm saying that year they had Lamar Jackson. If they would have beat Clemson,
Oh yeah,
they would have went to the national championship.
no, yeah, they were that good. I mean, Lamar Jackson was that good.
Yeah.
Okay, Clemson Tigers.
Yes, they matter.
Pretty
matter
simple.
every year.
Yeah, I agree. The Duke Blue Devils.
Nope,
let's
God,
let's-
no.
they don't.
Yep.
They do
They do.
matter because they play the Kansas Jayhawks.
Oh, God.
Amen. Come on. That's an easy win for the Jayhawks right there. I'm pumped.
Oh God, you better hope
I'm
so.
telling you,
Oh,
Duke
it's
is
going to be amazing.
Duke will beat Kansas by 30.
Oh, Drew, come on.
Oh,
They're going to beat Kansas by
Terrible.
30. You're saying, oh my God, like Kansas has won 18 games the past 10 years.
Kansas is that
18.
this year. They're a different team. Believe.
That's not even a win a year.
Believe.
It's barely a win in a year.
I think Kansas is better than Duke, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Although Duke has a new coach, they have Texas A&M's old defense coordinator Mike Elko. Maybe he's the real deal.
Hey, but Kansas looked good back into the year last year. They did.
They looked great.
They looked like
They
a
looked
real team.
great.
They looked like a real team.
I'm excited.
They might have
I'm
found
excited to
some with
see
Jaden Daniels. I'll tell you what.
They did. Just lost my gum, but they did.
Listen, I'm excited to see the betting line for Kansas,
Oh,
Duke.
God, I can't wait.
Put your mortgage on that one.
I'm hammering the under. Hammering the
I'll
under.
be the one in the house that bets on Duke, I guess. I'll be a Blue Devil for a night.
Drew, if you cheer for Duke against the Kansas Jayhawks, you're a bad person.
Well, I mean, I'm just being realistic here.
That's fair.
It's Kansas.
That's fair. All right, Florida State Seminoles. Do they matter this season?
Yes, just because of their brand.
I would say no.
I lean no as well.
Football team,
Sorry.
no.
No, they don't matter.
I just think that it's Florida State. They're going to be nationally televised every game. It's just the brand is too big not to matter, in my opinion.
That's fair. Okay, does Georgia Tech matter?
God, no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, I don't know anything about them.
Nor do
Yeah.
I. Want to know.
Hey, we might have a
No.
Georgia Tech lineman on the pod soon.
Really?
We
Hey,
might
they matter. They matter.
No,
They matter.
matter then.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they still doing the triple option down there?
I don't
No,
know.
that's
They got a new coach.
no.
Oh,
New
thank
coach
God.
Jeff Sims, or maybe Jeff Sims is the quarterback.
I think Jeff Sims is the quarterback. I think you're right.
Yeah, their coach is Jeff Collins. And he spells it Geoff. How the
Jeff.
fuck does that spell Jeff?
Jeff Bloom, former Ranger legend back in the day. That's how you spelled it.
GEOF.
G.
That's a lot of people.
G-
No, I know.
A lot
I
of
know it spells Jeff. I'm just saying, like when I read it, I'm like Geoff.
That's
Yeah.
how people who spell their name Sean as SEAN. How does that spell Sean? Like there's no way.
people. I went.
Cian. I never thought of it like
speaking
that.
Speaking of, I picked up a DoorDash the other day. The guy's name was Jim, and he spelled it GYM.
Jim.
Jim.
I kind of like that name.
You gonna name your first son that, Jake?
GYM.
GM.
Bill. GM Bill.
GM.
All right, let's go to the SEC,
Yeah.
guys. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Do the Alabama Crimson Tide matter this season?
I believe so. I believe
Nope.
they do.
I don't think they do.
Nope.
one would guess.
Question mark at quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
god,
yeah.
dude! Oh, that Arkansas fan that was in our replies. He said, "Bryce Young hadn't shown me a lot."
The Heisman and just.
It's tough to please the Hogs fans if you're wearing Crimson Tide uniform, I guess, because he won the Heisman. He said he just hadn't shown me a lot, man, other than winning the Heisman. Oh well. Okay, does Arkansas matter this season?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they do too. I think
They can
the first
make some damage.
last season they were a good team, but I'm not sure that they mattered nationally. They matter this season. I think it's the first time that they've mattered in a long time. So it'll be exciting to kind of have the Hogs back a little bit. Good fan base. They're not very smart, but they love the Hogs. So I respect them, and I think they're going to be pretty decent this season. Auburn Tigers. Do the Auburn Tigers matter this season?
No.
No.
I don't think so either. Florida Gators. Do the Florida Gators matter this season?
Yeah.
I think the Florida Gators matter a lot.
I think so.
They do.
All right.
They got a really good
Yeah.
quarterback.
I think I know they've got a good quarterback and everything. I think this is a down year for them. I really do.
It might be.
Year, Billy Napier.
I
It
think
might
it's a
be-
down year.
Yeah. Go ahead, Drew.
It's the first year of Billy Napier.
Yeah.
We'll see how it
I
goes.
do really like Billy Napier, but I think first year is going to be a bit of a downer.
I always think.
Go ahead.
See, I think Florida's a team that always matters. They're kind of up there with like Florida State. They matter no matter what.
Right. I think they matter just because of their schedule. You look at the top; they play two of the teams that we're kind of expecting to be in the playoff conversation. Utah, which is bullshit; they do not belong in that conversation yet. But Utah, they play them the first week, and then they also, of course, they play Georgia, and neither of those games are on the road. So they play Georgia and Jacksonville every year, and they play Utah at home. They're going to matter just because they have those two massive games in their schedule. I'm telling you right now, you guys heard it here. I'm picking Fresno State to beat USC, and I'm picking Florida to beat Utah week 1. So, I guess for Fresno State, USC is like week 3. But regardless, those are my two early season upsets. I don't know if you like it. I don't really care. That's what I'm going with. Anthony Richardson's beating the Utah Utes.
We'll see.
All right.
I think it'll be close.
Interested to see how he plays.
Do the Georgia Bulldogs matter?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Do the Kentucky Wildcats matter?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Will
yeah,
Levis.
sorry,
Will Levis
sorry.
is awesome.
Yeah, they do.
Heisman dark horse.
I'm going to say no. I don't think so.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think so because they're losing Wan'Dale Robinson, they're losing Josh Paschal. They're not really going to be the same team as they were last year, but we kind of want them to be just because they have Will Levis and stuff. I'm out on the Wildcats.
Sure.
You just lose Tom.
He's back.
No, he's here.
My bad.
Okay. Tom, you're probably going to have to edit the audio or send me the audio after this because whenever it cuts out like that, it does the most annoying thing in the world.
Great.
You just upload it to your computer and it'll send it to me.
Sounds good.
All right. Anyways, let's keep going. Does LSU matter this season?
Eaton.
Yes, LSU always matters.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Them in Florida, the LSU Florida State will be a fun game. Week 1. So Mississippi State.
First year, right? Going.
Oh yeah.
Mississippi State.
No, they don't matter.
No, I don't think so either. Missouri.
Will Rogers is awesome, but that's about it.
Missouri does not matter.
No,
No,
Missouri doesn't
hasn't
matter.
mattered since we left Big 12.
I mean, they made the SEC championship game twice.
And they had Mike Sam.
Oh boy! All right. Michael Sam and Manti Te'o both on this episode. We feel like we're in 2013.
Yeah, jeez.
All right. Texas A&M. Do they matter this season?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nope.
They do.
Not one bit.
Be ridiculous.
Nope. Nope.
They matter.
Nope. Can't convince
They
me
matter.
otherwise. Nope.
No, that's stupid.
They'll be
That's
8-4.
stupid.
Watch, they'll be 8-4 again, and I'm gonna look at all y'all at the end of the year and say, "Look, you can suck on my nuts because I was right. They're gonna be 8-4 again in irrelevance once again."
You know why they matter? You know why they matter?
What?
Because they have more money than anybody.
That's
That's
fair.
why they
Cool,
matter.
good for them. But they're gonna be 8-4 again, and
Did they matter
Because
last
they
season?
have
no,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
beat Bama.
they beat Alabama.
they have never mattered ever.
I don't think they. I don't know if they
They
mattered
mattered
last
forever.
season. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
They mattered with Johnny Manziel, and that was it.
Yeah, Ryan
That was the
Tannehill
peak
was
of
cool
A&M.
too. I like Ryan Tannehill.
Not as cool though. I
no,
will
not as
say.
cool as Johnny Manziel. No. Okay, South Carolina. Do they matter this season?
No.
Yep.
No.
I don't think they do yet.
Yep.
No,
They're
I don't think
close.
so yet. I will watch them, but I don't think that they matter. If that makes sense.
I'm more just interested to see how Spencer plays, but
yeah,
that's
it's-
really the only
it's
thing
an
I care
interesting
about.
team. I don't know if they matter yet though.
Don't they
Do
have
the Tennessee? Go
they
ahead.
have, OU's tight end too?
Stogner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stogner.
Yeah.
Todd Kelsey.
They might have the best tight end room in the country. They have Jaheim Bell and Stogner. Two very good
I
tight
will
ends.
say about something about Stodner. As much as I love Stodner, he never really produced as much as I thought he would at OU.
Yeah, but I mean, him as a second tight end.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
All right, so Tennessee Volunteers, do they matter this season?
No.
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 Oh, come on, guys. I think they matter.
Yeah, actually, I believe him.
I think
We
they matter.
can't just
Love Josh
keep
Allen.
relying on Rocky Taco alone for keeping this team relevant. And this team, what have they done in the last 10 years? What has Tennessee done?
Oh, nothing.
They have
They lost to OU.
nothing. They suck. They
Yeah,
don't matter.
yeah.
I'm sorry. They don't.
Hey, they had the Hail Mary to beat Georgia.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
One game in 10 years? Like, come on. They don't matter. I'm sorry. They don't.
Plus, they were the worst cheating team ever.
Yeah, they are handing bags of money. That's why they matter.
Oh, they
Is
still are.
because they are just idiots.
The
Well,
mustard, the
there's-
mustard bottle on the sea last year mattered more than their team did. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and the golf
literally,
ball.
that's what mattered more than their football team.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's good.
plus they got Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker's a good
Yeah,
quarterback.
I think Tennessee might matter this season. I want to put it in might matter. They're going to be one of those teams
They
that
might
has a
not.
one night stand though at mattering. I can tell you that much.
That
Yeah.
is the exact thing it's going to be. They're going to be a one night stander, but they're literally just going to crawl back under their rock of irrelevance and stay there forever.
Do they play Georgia and Neyland this year, or is it in Athens?
It should be at Athens. Last year, it was in Neyland.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
gonna be that's gonna be
I think we talked about this previously on the pod. I think they would have a chance to beat Georgia if it was at home,
It's
but
on the road.
on the road. Although, hey, they threw the Hail Mary against Georgia on the road, so we'll see.
Did they
Yeah,
really? Well, that was mid Georgia.
That was mid Georgia.
That was like Kirby Smart's first year ever coaching, or for
Yeah,
at least
I
for
think
Georgia.
it was his first
It
year.
might have still been. Was it? Was Mark Rick
It was.
still there?
I think it was
maybe?
Kirby's first year, 2016.
It was Kirby's first year.
There you go.
All right, so Ole Miss, do they matter this season? I've
Yeah.
got a hard no.
No.
This,
I don't
this
think so.
time.
No,
We will see though, because there is a very different and new team. But
it's depending on how well Jackson Dart plays.
Oh, certainly.
But
And they got Zach Evans.
yeah, that's another thing that's given them a good case. I mean, they're kind of under that Iowa State situation. They've never had a 10-win season. They've been they've been around since like the 1800s and still don't have.
Last season was their first
thing.
10 win regular season.
Oh, okay, my bad. First one.
So they did it.
And-
They finally did it.
They finally did it, but
Plus, Lane Kiffin's a really good offensive mind. So I mean,
They'll-
I
yeah.
can see them upsets.
They'll be fine offensively, and they'll take somebody down. I mean, last year they beat A&M. They beat who else? They beat somebody else that's pretty good as well. But maybe I'm blanking out. But they had a good season.
Hey, I don't know why, but ever since those back-to-back years, Ole Miss beat Alabama, I just circled that game. I'm like, look out. Ole Miss could get them this
Oh,
year.
Hugh Freeze. Oh, Hugh Freeze. I love him. Gotta love him.
Yep.
All right, well, that concludes our 3 conferences we're going to do today on teams that matter. Any stick out to you guys that you were particularly strong on that matter this season?
A&M does
Iowa
not
State.
matter.
They do matter. It's just ridiculous to
Also,
say.
Iowa State doesn't
They
matter.
don't. Iowa
They
State
do.
doesn't
They've
matter.
literally never
No.
won 10
They
games.
do.
How do you matter when you don't win 10 games ever? Literally ever.
because they ruin a lot of teams, a lot of other teams' seasons.
How many
That
other
matters.
teams have they done that to? more than
It's really only
Maybe.
been like 2 times.
OSU. They have. It's been more than 2 times. I can guarantee you that.
Who?
It's been OSU twice, OU once.
West Virginia.
They beat Baylor.
West Virginia probably once.
they've
4
They
times.
probably
they have
Baylor.
had a football team since 1894 and have never won 10 games in a season ever. Literally ever. How does that team matter?
I'm not arguing, but you can't argue their recent history though. I mean, they're by far and away better than they've ever been.
In fairness, in 2020 they would have won 10 games, but the
Yeah.
season was cut
Because
short.
of COVID.
They won the Fiesta Bowl that year against Oregon. They're a good team. Now, does Iowa State suck historically? Oh, they're probably the worst team.
Yeah.
Man, they might be the worst
Of all
team
time.
of all time. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's not true. I don't know. You probably have to compare it to a lot of other teams. Indiana is certainly up there. We know not talk about Indiana enough. About Indiana is horrible. Rutgers been bad, but they may not have sucked historically. I don't really know.
You can't convince me anything in Rutgers is good.
Completely agree. So I have an interesting question here that was asked. I think it's an intriguing question just because I don't think that there's any way that this is possible. But what are the odds this season that Bama and Ohio State don't make the CFP, and kind of what would it take for either of those teams to not make the playoff?
It'll take 2 losses from Alabama and 2 losses from
It
Ohio
had to be
State.
an absolute. It had to
I
be a
don't think
meltdown. Yeah.
Yeah, an absolute collapse of both teams.
I would say there's a 0% chance that both of them miss it.
Yeah.
But like a 25% chance one of them.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
one of them could easily drop a game in the regular season and lose their conference game or conference championship. But,
Yeah, I mean Alabama last season was insanely close to not going to the playoff because they should have lost to Auburn.
yeah.
I mean, if Tank Bigsby stays in bounds, I mean, we see Alabama not make it to the playoff at all, and then they end up beating Cincinnati. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that though? Cincinnati probably I don't know. Would Cincinnati have beaten Michigan?
I
I
think a lot of teams
It would
would
have
have
changed. It would have changed a lot of things, though.
Yeah, it would have been a great game. I think that would make OSU losing to Baylor even more painful.
Yeah, that really
Um,
sucks so much.
Okay, so you guys, I want you guys to go ahead and check out the week 0 schedule because I'm going to ask you guys a question here. If you were the Marlins man, which I just want to go ahead and preface this, the ideal male life is the Marlins man, is being the Marlins man.
Yeah.
There's no better male life. You get to go to every sporting event, wear your Marlins shirt, and just sit in the TV. Like, what better life would there be other than the Marlins man? I just don't think there is one.
There isn't one.
But okay, so let's go look at the week 1 schedule. If you were the Marlins man, what game are you going to in week 0?
I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's the Nebraska game.
Northwestern Nebraska, you get to
You
go
go
to
to
Ireland.
Ireland. It's the big game of the week. Right, that's where you're going.
Okay, but what do you
Hey,
guys?
you could convince me about Vanderbilt in Hawaii. Just going to Hawaii?
Or Idaho State at UNLV, you just make a trip to Vegas.
No, you go to the game that's on the main TV station, and you sit right at the 50-yard line, and that's where you are the whole time.
Good point.
You go to Vegas on Sunday to go watch the
Yeah,
NFL
literally.
games.
Well, I don't think there is NFL games that week. Gosh, dude, the thing is, I'm
I know,
looking at week
0.
0, and as much as I'm excited for week 0, we get to watch those games and then still wait another week for the big time games.
College football.
I'm not sure. I know. I don't want to wait any longer, man. I'm an impatient whore, you know.
It's in here. It's here.
Okay, I got another question for y'all. Who is a coach that you guys just cannot wait for them to retire?
Nick Saban.
Yeah, I said Gary Patterson because I think it's just weird as hell that he's in
Jimbo.
Texas. Jimbo.
Nick Saban.
Dude, I just hate A&M with my entire heart. I'm sorry. I do.
Kirby Smart.
Yeah,
It's basically all the good coaches that continually just bully other teams.
I cannot wait for Kirk Ferentz to retire at Iowa. I think that guy is annoying. I hate Iowa. I just can't do it, man. Like people that will compare him to really, really good coaches. It's like, yeah, he's been there a long time, and they've what? I mean, Iowa? Really? We're talking about Iowa?
Yeah.
Just not an Iowa guy. All right, you guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I think I'm good. I think just excited for week 0, man. Lots to talk about week 0.
We will have a lot to talk about. A lot of interesting things. I do have a question. Out of all those first week 0 games, who's going to get in a fight first?
Of what team?
Yeah.
Let me check the schedule here again.
Probably Florida A&M and North Carolina.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's an 8:15 p.m. game. Man,
Yeah.
it's a late one.
Wyoming at Illinois is a sneaky one.
I just want to see some helmets thrown at each other. I want to see some blood drawn.
Oh, dude, Nevada at New Mexico State. I will be watching that game. 10 p.m. Maybe watch Shane Illingworth for the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
No.
I can't wait to watch that.
North Texas at UTEP. That'll be the fight. Yep. North Texas at
Is that the
UTEP.
MAC?
North Texas to UTEP.
Is Nevada the MAC?
No, what? Nevada's Mountain West.
No.
You thought they were in the.
Well, who's in the MAC?
The MAC is like Ohio and Toledo and.
Marshall.
No,
Love
Marshall's in the Fun
Miami.
Belt.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Miami.
Miami's in it.
Yeah.
That was the M I was thinking of there.
All right.
Some
So-
action for you.
My last question here before we sign off here, guys, is who has the worst color scheme in all of college football?
Kansas State.
Ooh.
I don't mind Kansas State, so I'm not gonna lie. I kind
Their
of
uniforms are horrific.
I like the purple.
I think it might be Wyoming.
Oh yeah, 100%. Brown and yellow. Come on.
Ooh. Hey,
Yeah, say it. Josh Allen was the only thing that is ever good that has come from that
Josh
university.
Allen.
UAB
Well-
has a really bad color scheme.
Colorado State
yeah,
is bad too.
Hey, don't you dare hate on the Colorado State Ranks. Don't you dare.
Green and gold is not a good color.
No,
it's not, but
Listen,
they just completed
You know
their
what's
7th national championship.
Oh, Western Michigan.
Tell you the most
Horrible
Oh,
color
Western
scheme.
Michigan's bad.
Horrible logo too. Just a W.
Dude, one of these. I looked up jerseys and I see a Southern Miss jersey that has the digital camo sleeves. That is disgusting.
Can we talk about DigiCamo though? Real
It's
quick?
terrible. It's ugly. I'm out.
Okay, hey
Oh.
boys, I gotta sign off. I gotta go to work.
I do as well. I gotta get out of here.
All right, we'll see you guys. Drew, you have anything to say? What were you gonna say?
I said the most unappealing color scheme matchup of all time is Kansas State versus Kansas. Horrible uniforms.
Drew hates the Sunflower Showdown.
Hey, rock chalk, baby.
All right. Hey, we love you guys too. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave us 5 stars. It's a little bit of a shorter pod today, but we're excited for the football season. We can't wait. Yeah, guys, thanks so much. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram at 3ManRushFB. All right. We'll see you.
Say it.